This place is called Sisupalgarh in the city of Bhubaneswar, surrounded with all new constructions around, only remaining few destroyed facade walls available. One can see the fortress that used to be the citadel during the Kalinga war and happens to be the territory of the mighty Kalinga powers. In 261 BC, this citadel was destroyed with the Kalinga war situation. We are looking at a citadel and is a sorry predicament in the modern history that we have no right road connectivity, no place, no archaeological protection to this site, and all laterite stone wall, whatever is remaining, just remaining, rest of the part of this fortress area is already been occupied, sold out, new settlements coming up with expansive houses that you can see in this video, which you can very well see how the fortress just within 20 meters from the citadel site, new constructions are available here. This is what is the fort, one of the oldest fort in the history of India. The history of this fort belongs to almost all 6th century BC, continued with its glory till the end of 261 BC. Along with all that glorified fort and fortresses of Kalinga that fought the Battle of Kalinga in 261 BC, Sisupalgarh has its eminence as one of the biggest citadel of hosting all Kalinga forces and the democratic power that fought against the Emperor of Magad, Samrat Ashok. A new vision is required for the conservation of this site, and civilians' opinions should come up, and rest of the intellectual masses of this country should come forward for the protection of this vanishing out citadel monument site of Indian history. Age of these bricks are more than 2,400 years old, and this mound, which houses all those bricks used in the construction of the fort. This was a laterite stone fort in India. Jaugarh is another such fort site located in the district of Ganjam, which is one of the same time and contemporary fort destroyed with the Kalinga Mauryan War. The staircases of the fort, the side walls, plinth wall, basically the foundation lies somewhat 20 to 25 feet beneath. In the record of Ashokan history, one of the big Buddhist stupa called Mount was near this fort, which is not yet seen, been taken out with the new civilian constructions, and the sites have been occupied. You can see the constructions are very close in proximity. The laterite stones. The wall cementing forces seems like lime and indigenous cement, but these stones were fixed with a cementing process that is clearly visible on this wall. These are the cementing areas. The basic cementing technology and the methods used were the local indigenous methods, and the materials used are largely limestone, jaggery, kinds of glue of some of the fruits available, and along with that many other things like some of the dal, which we call urad, being powdered and mixed, and a type of clay also mixed to it, along with these very granular stones used, so that the cementing forces you can see, which are much older than 2500 years, still intact, keeping the plinth strong, highly supportive, and the laterite stone wall stands up. Time has destroyed these forts without any proper maintenance and care. Even the approaching road from the city is just a lane. You cannot find it comfortable to drive in with your car. These are the cement surfaces. This is the stone. This is the stone. In between the cement layer, here for fixing these stones beneath one upon above, is near about 1.5 to 2 inches. So the cements being used for the construction of this wall very clearly is seen. Matches even to the modern time, and modern time cementing doesn't go with this much of thickness. So how strong this cementing work is done on this wall can be very clearly visible with this photograph. Everywhere if you look at, the cementing surfaces are 1 to 1.5 to 2 inches in thickness, and the cement still there. You cannot take out a granular stone easily by putting your hand and finger. It's so strongly cemented. This wall which is visible here, exactly the plinth is near about 20 to 25 feet below, and the soil cover has covered it up deep. We are standing almost all in the second floor of this fort surface area. Even it has been seen many of the stones are taken out by the localites for use of the local constructions, because these bricks are large in size. These are called the laterite stone bricks, cut and polished by hand from the nearby laterite stone quarries, being taken out for the new housing constructions in and around. Whatever is left out, still not maintained, and there is no visitors mark, no ASI checkpoint, no demarcation of the areas. This is what is abandoned. The only one oldest and survived fort of India is going to die out with time, and one day we'll miss out. This place will be occupied by any other construction. We will not have even these walls. Doubts raised. Here the cementing part between the stones is 2 to 3 inches in thickness. So the leveling of the stone and the floors were done by keeping and maintaining the thickness of the cement in between these laterite bricks or the stones. Length of these varying between 1.5 feet to 2.5 feet, and in some places is near about 3 feet. When these stones are used in the plinth area, the length and the width of the stones are quite high. It varies between 2.5 feet to 3 feet in length, width 1.5 feet, depth of the stone near about 1 feet, and very standard cut stones used. Of course, these are very high grade laterite stones, having less number of porosity in these stones, but some of the stones do have the porosity still than one of the finest quality laterite stones. Similar kind of stones are also seen in the wall constructed for the protection of the temple city in Bhubaneswar. Around Lingara's temple, these kind of stones are used in outside, but here this fortress used to stand on this stone built fortress structure. This took the resistance of many wars and aggressions with time. The biggest of such is the Kalinga war. That's what very well can be remembered, the epoch-making event in the history of Kalinga on India. This is the inner side, inner circle of the fort walls. In between the walls, for the resistance and protection, these type of lines were drawn so that the soldiers can climb up with the ladder to the height of the fort for the defense of the fort. That can be very well seen from this kind of tunneling structure, and which is called a double protection wall system. Normally these kind of wall systems are not seen across many strongly built forts of the world. But this technology in the civil construction was used in Kalinga only. You can see the gap in between is 5 feet, 2 walls standing for protection, and the inner wall thickness, if you look at the thickness of this, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stones. Multiply into 1.5 feet comes to near about 10.5 feet thickness of the wall, which is of the inner fort surface. Outer wall thickness cannot be measured at this moment, but that's also approximately near about 4 to 4.5 feet. Inner wall of the fort is 10.5 feet in thickness for the defense of the purpose. This kind of stones used in between as pillars to have the roofs. Roofs were constructed also out of this kind of cements being used, and stone slabs were used on the top. So the technology of that time matches to today's modern technology that we can very clearly claim without any hesitation. These cements are not the modern cements. These are the old cements of lime and jaggery mixed cement with sand. River sand basically used, not the seashore sand. When we use the sea sand, then only we can have lead metal to be inside that can have a cement, which is similarly seen in a fort called Janjira, Padmadurg and Kasa in the coast of Maharashtra's Konkan belt.